Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I am making some more Great British Baking Show cookbook deliciousness. So today's recipe is a peanut and caramel Millionaire shortbread. So I'm excited to get this started. For those of you new to the channel, I am baking my way through the Great British Baking Show cookbook, Love to Bake. And so I'm excited to have you with me. What I have is 150 grams of plain flour in my bowl, and I am just going to add 75 grams of butter. So it's unsalted and chilled. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub the butter in with my fingertips until only small flecks remain. Okay, it looks like it's mainly just small flecks of butter left. So now I need to add peanut butter. So I have 25 grams of peanut butter. Now you can make this either crunchy or smooth. I just do not like crunchy peanut butter, so mine's smooth. And sugar. So it's 50 grams of, it says light muscovado sugar. In the States, we don't really have muscovado sugar, so I'm substituting which brown sugar, light brown sugar. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix until combined. So I'm going to get this butter, or this peanut butter, kind of mixed in here. All right, it says to mix it until it starts to clump. Well, it's definitely starting to clump on me. So I have a 20 centimeter square tray bake pan ready to go. I've got it greased and lined with baking paper. And now I'm just going to tip this into here. And then just press down with my hands, leveling it out. And then it says firmly with the back of a spoon. So I'll get my spoon in here. Now, I have done in previous bakes where I haven't pressed down firmly enough in some of the shortbread, or I think my granola bars. I definitely didn't press down hard enough on those. So I'm just trying to make sure that I've got this nice and firm. Okay, now I'm just going to prick this with a fork. Well, I'm going to press down some of that a little bit more. Supposed to prick with a fork, not destroy with the fork, right? Okay, that sound means that my oven has been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to bake these for about 18 minutes. Okay, that's looking really good. It says pale and golden, so that looks good to me. Now I am supposed to let it cool in the tin while I make my caramel sauce. So to make the caramel, in my pot here, I have 250 grams of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk, because there's no unsweetened condensed milk that I could find here. And then I also have 50 grams of honey, which is my substitute for golden syrup in this recipe. I'm going to add to that 125 grams of unsalted butter, 100 grams of castor sugar. Castor sugar is just ultra fine or super fine sugar in the States. And then we also need to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla paste to our caramel. So now I need to cook this over low heat for about 1 to 2 minutes. Basically, I need to dissolve the sugar and also melt my butter. It didn't say anything about melting the butter before I put it in there. It just said unsalted butter. So I'm going to stir to dissolve that sugar once it starts warming up here. Now, I've tried caramel a couple times through working through this book, and none of them have turned out right. I've always ended up making toffee. So hopefully I can get this right this time. I'm going to follow it to a T. So 1 to 2 minutes on low heat, stirring to dissolve the sugar. I think my sugar is dissolved, so I'm going to turn it up because it says bring to a boil, and then cook for 5 minutes until reduced, thickened slightly, and caramel covered. So as soon as it starts to boil, I'm literally going to set my timer this time so that I can know when the 5 minutes is up. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to turn off the heat. It does say to work quickly. I don't know that it turned caramely, but it is definitely thickened. It took about 5 minutes for it to start boiling, so that's where I always get the problems here. Okay, working quickly. Remove from the pan, from the heat, and spoon 2 to 3 tablespoons onto my tray bake here and spread evenly. Put a little bit more. So I now have 175 grams of peanuts that I just need to spread over here. So they're just salted, roasted peanuts. And then I just need to cover with the rest of the caramel. It says carefully spoon the remaining caramel. I'm just going to try to drizzle it as evenly as I can. Yeah, spreading it doesn't work super great because the peanuts kind of come up with the caramel sauce. No, so as I was cooking the caramel, it took about 5 minutes for it to heat up to the point where it was boiling. And so then I was supposed to cook it for another 5 minutes after that point. I think I did closer to 4 by the time it was actually boiling. I don't know. I still feel like I probably overcooked it. We'll see. Okay, tap the tin sharply. I guess I should probably not do that in my oven. Yeah, and so I leave this to cool at room temperature for it to firm up. Okay, for the last step of our Millionaire shortbread, we are doing a chocolate layer. So I have 125 grams of a dark chocolate. It's supposed to be 70% dark chocolate. This is basically my clean out the cupboard bake because I had some 100% and I had some 50% dark chocolate. So I just kind of combined them together. If chocolate math works, that's about 70% dark chocolate. And then I also have 75 grams of milk chocolate to add to that. And we also have 25 grams of butter. And so I just have it sitting over a pot of just about to simmer water. And I'm just going to get this to melt down. So I'm going to stir it until it's smooth. And then we can layer it on top of our cooling caramel shortbread. I'm actually very hopeful that caramel is the right consistency. All right, that's looking rich and delicious. So I do need to remove this from the heat. Okay. And I'm going to let that just cool for just a minute while I also melt down my 50 grams of white chocolate. Okay, so I have my white chocolate all melted down now, and I'm just going to put it in a piping bag. Guess you'll find out why in a minute. So now what I need to do is spread the dark chocolate over the caramel. All right, so now I'm going to try to spread this level. It does look very tasty. The chocolate just looks so thick and luscious on top. Here is where the white chocolate comes in. The reason I put it in this little bag is so that I can just pipe some little lines. And then I'm just going to make kind of a decorative top to my Millionaire shortbread. Take a toothpick or a cocktail stick and we're just going to feather this just to make it look pretty. I'm going to alternate. You could probably do whatever you want. It definitely hides the crookedness of your lines, so that's a win. So there we go. That's really pretty, actually. You know, now if I can just leave it alone until it cools, it'll be great. All right, they actually cut really good. Look at that. Yeah, my girls, of course, wanted to help me taste test for sure. Right? You want to taste it? Go ahead, you guys can take a bite. The caramel color on it is not quite as caramely as I would have liked, so, you know, but it's not toffee. It definitely is still caramely. They're going for second bite, so it must be pretty good. What do you think, girls? Good. Good. I like the textures. The shortbread is nice and baked. Good. Gives it a nice layer to grab onto, but everything on top of that is really soft with the crunchy peanuts. Yeah, that's a good little snack, I think. What do you think, girls? Yeah, good? All right, that was my latest bake on my Great British Baking Show cookbook, Love to Bake. Please, what do we tell everybody? Now you just took a bite, huh? Give a like to this video and share, excuse me. And yeah, and make sure you subscribe so that you can see us on the next bake. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe.